Turbo and 2K show.
What is up, 2K crew? Yes, he's alive. He's right here. He is right here in the flesh. 2Ks is back with us. What's up, my good man?
What up? How's it going?
Good, good. It's nice to have someone sitting shotgun here. Because I guarantee you've been on a long road trip by yourself, and
Yeah,
it's always nice to have someone A to talk to, and B,
absolutely.
someone's got to be the DJ for
Yeah,
this road trip. So
yeah. It's been a long time. It's been probably over a month, about a month since
yeah,
I've been here. Yeah,
I think so.
yeah.
I think so. And just to kind of bring you up to speed, I've been trying my best to not only glaze the Tigers, but Scooble.
Yeah.
And call it what you want. To me, it's not glazing because they're the best team in baseball. He's the best pitcher in baseball. Even though the last start against the Mariners wasn't a Scooble-esque
Mhm.
type outing, but I really don't care.
Yeah.
I really don't care.
This All-Star break, I think, is coming at a perfect time. I
Yes.
think there's just this past week or so they've not looked very sharp. Pitching has not been good at all. Bullpen's been terrible. The hitting, the timely hitting that they've been getting all season long hasn't really been happening. It's just they need that time this time here to take the week off and then get back going here at the end of this next week here, and hopefully they can pick up from there. But if it's shown anything, this week or so, they have to be active at the deadline. They have
100%.
there's some holes in this lineup, both in the bullpen, and I think they also need a bat, and they need to address it in the deadline here. So
Yeah, and that's another one of the things that I've talked about. I'm not going to say ad nauseum, but I kind of went into this, approaching the deadline thinking, okay, there's only a handful, one or two really, really good teams, and then there's a bunch of teams that are kind of about the same.
mhm.
And I really didn't think that leading up to this trade deadline, we'd have a lot of action. I didn't think we'd have a lot of big names being tossed about. We've seen one already in Devers,
Mhm.
which I've been thoroughly through that. There is another wrinkle though that we're going to get to in the news,
Mhm.
but we there's a firm possibility that the Braves move off some of their studs. So I think all in all it's going to be a more active deadline than what I thought. Because let's be real, especially the teams that are buyers, 90% of what they're buying is arms.
Mhm.
Starting pitching is usually always comes at a very, very high price. So a lot of folks go, bullpen arms.
Mhm.
And at this point in time in the season, I guarantee most of those dudes in the bullpen are gassed.
Mhm.
And so rightfully so. So getting in some reinforcements to kind of bolster that shit. It's just common sense.
Mhm.
It's just common sense. So that's kind of what
Yeah.
we've been going through these past couple weeks to kind of bring you up to speed.
Now on the other hand, my team and the Tigers needs this break to kind of regroup and get things going, and your team
We don't want to break.
10 wins in a row.
Yeah.
You don't want to break. This break is coming at a terrible time. But no, Boston's figuring some shit out over
Yep,
there, and
I agree.
you go back a month ago or so when they traded Devers, and I think a lot of Boston fans are like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
Well, I think it might have been the best thing. I think Breslow was cooking up something.
You and I talked about that on the show.
Mm-hmm.
And with his whole, I don't want to be DH. I'm a third baseman. Well, now I don't want to be a first baseman. And you and I kind of agree, like, get him the hell out of here.
To me, they remind me so much of the Tigers
Mhm.
because now without Devers, they have this versatile lineup that they can
Yes.
throw guys in all different positions. They have guys that they can pinch hit and place in certain situations, and they just and go and same thing with the Tigers, where you have a mastermind in AJ Hinch that can put all this together. You have a mastermind in Alex Cora that can do this with Boston. So allow him to manage and do and be versatile with all of his players. And Devers, as great of a hitter as he is, he can't do that. He is a DH, and that is all he is.
Yeah,
And
because he was a terrible fielder to
Mhm.
begin with.
Yep.
Terrible fielder.
And now, you're playing your best baseball all season long. You get Bregman back now.
And Yoshida from
Yeah,
wherever
Yoshida
the hell he
and-
was.
So, I mean, no, this is that Boston team that we were talking about at the beginning of the season that as a
Mhm.
potential favorite to win it all. Here they are now, and they're playing, and they're looking like that team that everybody was talking about in the beginning of the season.
Well, kind of save those thoughts there, 2Ks, because I do have some tweets to kind of back that up. Even though I have tooted my own horn with the Red Sox, and tooted horn slash vented.
Mm.
I mean, and rightfully so. This is a young team. You're going to have ups and downs. You're going to kick the ball around. It is what it is. But yes, they are winners of 10 straight. But 2Ks, I got some other news here. Got some other news that I do want to touch upon here before we get into because basically 2K crew, what we're going to do here is we're going to give you the news. We're going to run down the home run derby. We're going to give you our picks, and we're going to draft our, my top five home run derby guys versus your top five, and we're going to draft them live.
Mm.
We're going to draft them live. Totally stole this from the uh, shit, the ESPN baseball podcast,
Mm.
and figured all the cool kids are doing it.
Yeah,
Why don't
absolutely.
we do it? However, they went all time. Like they were picking Babe Ruth and all kinds of
Oh
shit.
yeah,
And I'm like, no, I want these guys to at least have
be
participated.
guys that we've actually watched.
Yeah, that would be nice. That would be nice. Well, let's NFL's not too far away, 2K.
Hmm.
And big shout out to EA with the college football, the newest rendition coming out. And yes, we will get to college football. We will get to, obviously, we're going to get to the NFL, but we've got baseball to talk about because those sports are a ways away. Baseball is here, baseball is now. But quick little fact here, 2Ks. This is from Barstool Cleveland. It says just a one-word tweet, bad. Weird fact, a Browns second round pick has been arrested in back-to-back seasons before week 1. And this is with Judkins, right?
Yeah, yep.
That's what I thought. I couldn't remember who last year's was, but it's the Browns. Who cares?
Yeah,
Who cares? I mean, it's if this is going to happen to an NFL franchise, it's going to be the Browns.
Right,
I mean, let's just
No.
be honest. Let's just
Yeah.
be honest. I think that's the only. Oh, I do have one more NFL tidbit here. And this is going to be a. Here, I'll just throw it up here. This is from ML Football. Which quarterback are you cutting? Mahomes, Burrow, Jackson, or Allen? Right now. I already have my answer. And shockingly, going through the replies on this tweet, the vast majority agreed with me.
It's probably Mahomes.
Incorrect.
That's who I would say.
First of all, you're not getting rid of Josh Allen.
No,
He's the MVP.
No.
You're not getting rid of Joe Burrow. He had arguably one of the best statistical seasons last year, even though his defense sucked. Mahomes has the legacy, but is kind of tailing off according to his standards. He's still a very, very good
all
quarterback.
four of these guys are
Yeah.
are insane.
But give me, I got to cut Lamar. I want postseason success.
Yeah.
And it has nothing to do with Lamar's a great quarterback.
Mhm.
But if you're asking me to pick who has to go between these four, I got to go postseason success.
Mhm.
And unfortunately, two of the guys, well, all three of these guys have probably been smacked by Mahomes in the playoffs.
Yeah.
In particularly Burrow and Allen.
Mhm.
So, but yeah, just a little food for thought.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it can be Lamar. Like, just what he's so dynamic, and just haven't ever seen a quarterback in the NFL do it like him. I mean, you have Mike Vick is really the only one, and this guy's to me is way better than what Vick was. So,
Andy doesn't fight dogs.
yeah, and
That's huge.
and also on top of that, really never has had like Joe Burrow's spoiled. He's got a number one receiver that's probably the best in the league, and he's also got a number two receiver that is potentially top 10, 15. I guess would probably be the true answer in there. Mahomes has got one of the best tight ends of all time, as Andy Reid as a head coach. Josh Allen has had some really good ones, but not like that elite receiver.
No.
But I guess why I like Jackson and Allen the most on this is what they can do with their feet and what they do in red zone situations as far as just scoring touchdowns on their own and not throwing, not having to throw the ball. So it's so tough. Those are the four best quarterbacks in the NFL. I mean, so that's such a tough question to answer.
Speaking of which, have you seen the newest season of quarterbacks?
We've been watching it right now.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And just to think, it made me, not that I dislike Jared Goff, but it makes me like Goff even more.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And then just to see, kind of, they're bringing, little cameos of St. Brown, after the receivers last year. So I think it's totally awesome. I think, and very few things that Omaha does, you got to be like, I didn't like that.
Yeah,
Usually, when they put something out, it's usually a
yeah,
banger,
absolutely.
especially when it comes to the
Yeah,
NFL.
no, I've really enjoyed watching it so far. Channel and I've been watching it, and yeah, like you said, I mean, I've never been a huge, golf fan. Obviously, Lions fan of,
Mm.
I'm not, I don't have anything against the guy, but seeing this side of him, and then just seeing how, just that culture that they have built there in
Hmm.
Detroit, and
Oh yeah,
those guys play for each other, and it'll be interesting to see how things go now with, the shakeup with everybody, obviously with the, two their offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator becoming head coaches and leaving. Will that culture remain the
hmm,
same? We'll see.
yeah, and it's if how the season went, so
Yeah, and I
it's
think
not like I'm
and
gonna it's not like I'm gonna shock you with anything, but it does get really cool
mm-hmm,
towards the end,
mm-hmm,
and it's kind of a head scratcher as to kind of the way they leave off with Kirk Cousins,
mm-hmm,
because now we know
mm-hmm,
that he is the backup,
mm-hmm.
and he pretty much saw the writing on the wall as soon as he was benched. So
I'll never understand it. I never understand why Atlanta paid that much money to bring him in and then draft a quarterback ninth overall
yeah,
and basically just give up on the guy that you have all this money invested in. I mean, it seems like if you're gonna go with Penix and then go with Penix and use that money that you
somewhere else.
elsewhere, yeah,
Yeah,
defense
yeah, and
or get yourself another offensive weapon or
and all the Cousins money is guaranteed,
yep.
which is the best part for him.
Oh
And
yeah, and I mean, kudos to Cousins. That dude has maneuvered through the NFL just
his agent
brilliantly.
is
I mean, oh
elite.
yes, I mean
Is elite.
he yeah. I mean for being a very and he's and no disrespect to him because he has been a damn good
Mm-hmm.
quarterback, in the NFL, but not elite level,
No,
not
not
not a
top tier.
money
Not
that
he.
he's
He wouldn't be on that graphic that we
yeah.
just
I
showed.
mean, signing that contract with the Falcons like that's just amazing for him. He's coming off of an injury, which
Mm-hmm.
in for a lot of people, that's a career-ending injury
Yeah,
when they get that. They don't bounce back from it, especially when they're in their 30s. They don't bounce back from that. And here he is, getting just getting fucking paid, and now he's gonna be making that money wearing a fucking hat on the sideline.
hey,
So
sign me up.
yeah,
Sign me up. All right. Well, 2K's got a little tidbit here about another guy we glaze a lot, just Paul Skeens.
oh yeah,
This is a tweet from the
okay,
Pittsburgh Pirates, and Skeens is glazable. I'm
yeah,
sorry, Skeens. If
yes,
if you're not, you could hate the Pirates with all of your being, but just to see what this kid is doing, it's absolutely phenomenal.
mhm. Yeah, and they did announce too that him and Scoobs are gonna be starting the All Star game. So yeah.
And that was kind of I kind of was worried about that because I was like, all right, I get that Kershaw gets the
Mhm,
legacy
mhm,
pick. I get that. Are you going to start him just to get him out there, get him his inning, get him then get him out,
mhm,
walk off, do that type of thing, or do what the fans want, which is I want to see Paul Skeens,
mhm,
I want to see Scooble,
mhm.
I want to see them face the first 3, 4, 5 batters in
Yep,
each one of those lineups. So baseball got it right.
yep,
Baseball got it right.
100%.
But the Pirates tweet out Paul Skeens has reached 300 career strikeouts in only his 43rd career start. He is the first Pirates pitcher and only one of 17 major league pitchers all time to record at least 300 strikeouts in his first 43 big league starts. Now, 2Ks, the reason I brought this up and the reason I did that is A, that's awesome.
Oh hell yeah.
And B, how many more strikeouts would he have if they didn't limit him in the beginning?
Mhm,
You could see probably 40 or 50 more Ks on there
mhm.
going back to the first part of last
Yeah.
year where they, all right, hard four
Guys,
innings,
yeah,
hard five
cutting him
innings.
down at 65, 70
Yeah.
pitches, not really letting him go over 75 there for a long time. No, the guy is a
He's must watch TV.
oh yeah, he is absolutely, and it's for him. It's just avoid the injuries. You're never going to get run support with what you have right now in Pittsburgh, so just keep doing your thing. And
Do not go to the Yankees.
and that's what I was where I was going to end it at is here, and when his contract comes up, or eventually he'll probably end up getting traded because Pirates
They
aren't going
have
to do
to.
anything with him. They're going to have to
Yeah.
get something out of it, and it'll be the Yankees or the Dodgers,
Mhm.
and that'll be where he goes.
Uh, I would thoroughly enjoy a Skeen Scoobs 1-2 punch.
Yeah.
I guarantee every Tigers fan would cream their pants if that happened.
Yeah, and like that fucking trade has been shown so many
Oh yeah.
times of like the Tigers trading Max Clark, Kevin McConaughey, Jackson Jobe, I think there
Pretty
was.
much your top 5 or 6 prospects.
Yeah, and there's no fucking way. There's
No,
no way that I would even consider. I would just hang up the phone. There's no way.
it's the same graphic as except all 5 of the top Red Sox
Yeah,
prospects.
there's only 2 guys in baseball that I would trade: Max Clark, Kevin McConaughey, and Jackson Joe for, and that's Aaron. Give me Aaron Judge or give me Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah.
And that's all. That's it. Those are the only 2. It's nothing against Paul Skeens. I think he's going to be the best pitcher in baseball. And if it wasn't for what like Scooble's doing right now, you would already give him that. And you can already, there's arguments to be made that he is the best pitcher in
Yeah.
baseball right now.
Mhm.
And I'm not going to really sit here and argue that very strongly because he is very, very good. I just kind of am a little bit more biased towards the Scooble because I watch him all the time.
And Scooble's done it longer.
And yeah,
I mean,
and
let's be
Scooble has
honest.
done it longer. But Scooble wasn't pitching like this in year
No,
1, year 2 of his
no,
career.
no.
He wasn't doing it. That took him 4 years or so, 4.5 years.
Skeens has a
before he really
career
took it.
ERA of like 1.97.
Hmm.
Career ERA, not this season.
Yeah.
Career
But they only affect the game once
every 5
days.
Yep.
And that's where I can't grasp giving up, 2 or 3 a year top end.
Mhm.
Especially with the Tigers where they're at right now is they're so good and they're so young and
Sure.
Max Clark. I mean, the position that is just killing Detroit right now with the
Is
outside
he
of their
in
bullpen.
AAA right now or AA?
He's in Double A. He
Double.
just got called up to Double A. But like the position that is killing Detroit right now, outside of their bullpen, is center field. I love Parker Meadows. Always have. Want him to be the guy. Want him to take off. But he's not hitting the ball.
Mm-hmm.
A year from now, I don't think it's going to be the beginning of next season. But if we go a year from now into the middle of next season, and he's not hitting, and Clark's hitting in minors, he's going to take over in center field.
Mm-hmm.
He was their first round draft pick. They're going to continue to push him up.
And that kid's looked electric.
Yes, and
He's
he
looked
is, and
electric.
that's what Detroit needs is they need production out of center field, and they need a leadoff hitter. They need somebody that's going to be a catalyst of this team, and that's what they don't have right now. They don't have that guy.
Well, you're just in luck. I've got a guy in Boston, Mr. Jaron Duran.
Mm-hmm.
He'd be a great fit to play
I would
center
lo-
field
I-
out
yeah,
there and lead off.
Yep, I would love to have him. The thing is, to bring over a talent like that, you're going to have to give up one. I don't, Skeens are going to have. They're going to ask for your top 3.
At least.
Jaron Duran, Boston's going to ask for one of those top 3, and I don't want to give up any of them.
No.
So that's where I'm like, okay, the Tigers have to be active at the deadline. They have to do things. I think that they need to get somebody that can miss bats to add to their bullpen.
Mm-hmm.
You're not giving up a top 5, 6 prospect for a bullpen arm. That's a rental that's going to be out after the season. Or even if your bullpen guy that you do get has another year on his contract, you're still not getting rid of one of those top 5, 6, 7 prospects.
Not for a bullpen arm, no.
And then you look at a bat. You look at Suarez for the Diamondbacks would be one that you look. He's gonna go, if Detroit trades for him or whoever trades for him, he's gonna go play there for 2 months and then he's going elsewhere. So you're not giving up to where somebody would like Duran. If you go after him and you try to make that trade or Boston moves him, which I don't think Boston should move on from him just because of what he brings as far as the energy. He's like the kid's electric. But if they do get rid of him, or they would at least, I think they would be dumb not to at least shop him and see because I think that there are some teams out there that would maybe possibly
Minnesota
for him.
Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Ryan, straight up.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. Maybe because Duran has, I think, 3 years of control after this year.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not going to be a rental.
Mm-hmm.
He's arbitration. You'll get him on the cheap.
Mm-hmm.
And I've talked about this in the past couple of weeks. It's like, okay, Duran is good.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the outfielders has to go.
Yeah.
And you're definitely not getting rid of Rafaela.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about early in the season, quite possibly the best fielding center fielder in all of baseball. And now he's probably the hottest hitter on the planet right now. Abreu is a Gold Glove right fielder and is hitting the cover off the ball. So you're telling me I have to choose between Jaron Duran and Roman Anthony. Give me Roman Anthony all day. And it sucks because I thoroughly enjoy watching Jaron Duran play baseball.
Oh, absolutely. He's electric. Why you why you pick Anthony every day of the week over him though is because Anthony has the 30 home runs a season
Yes.
potential that Duran will never have.
Mhm.
Duran is an energy guy. He
Yeah.
plays the game. He plays the game to the same kind of style of like a Pedroia.
Absolutely.
Bigger than Pedroia. Pedroia was just tiny, but
Well,
he
his
plays the game hard. Everything is 110%. Everything, he's the one that's
yeah.
stealing home,
Oh yeah.
making big plays. Roman Anthony is like has star potential of being one of the best in the game, going to be an all-star for years and years and years, has that
Mhm.
potential, has the Soto like potential,
Yeah.
has the that's why he's the one guy in the whole fucking franchise that is just basically untouchable.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
To me with them it kind of came I thought it came down to um Duran or Yoshida. Which one do
The
you
only thing that, and I would trade Yoshida 5 times today before I would trade Duran. The only thing is the Red Sox overpaid for Yoshida.
mm,
They tried to shop him in the offseason, weren't getting anything in return, which is why they kept him and now made up an injury, sent him down, put him on the IL for 60 days.
mm.
He's been rehabbing nothing in AAA except wearing a sick Scooby Doo uni, which was awesome, which was absolutely awesome. But yeah, it's hold that thought, hold that thought. We're getting ahead of ourselves here, 2K crew. Let's kind of round out the sports here. Let's talk some basketball. We're a big basketball show.
Yeah, huge.
Big basketball show.
Huge.
But this one kind of has a little Michigan vibe to it. Why? They're talking about Devin Booker. This is from Savage Sports over on Twitter. The NBA is absolutely ridiculous. And for those that do not know, Devin Booker just got paid. I believe it was 3 years, 72.7 per. And that is more than the entire payroll of the Sharks, the Marlins, and the Ducks. Now, I have a feeling if you projected this list out even further, you would see a lot more NHL teams just because their payrolls aren't even close to any of the other sports. But for the Marlins to be on this list is kind of ridiculous and just goes to show that's there's on most teams you have 2 maybe 3 players making that at least. And the whole team 28.6.
Yeah.
Which is, or excuse me, 68.4.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But if you're Devin Booker, I would have signed that deal in a heartbeat too.
Yeah.
Lock me up.
Yeah.
Okay. Done. 72.2 a year. Okay. Where do I sign? Well, 2Ks, we do have the draft going on up here. And let's go to our draft expert. Where is it? There it is, Jeff Passan.
We're getting ready to go with our 2 teams.
This was kind of shocking. And because I have a feeling a lot of people that aren't like deep in the woods with the draft kind of expected Holiday to go number 1. He did not. Jeff Passan tweets out the Washington Nationals have selected shortstop Eli Whitlis with the number 1 overall pick in the 2025 Major League Draft. Now, I was watching this, kind of putting the show together, and there is a shit ton of shortstops flying off the board in this first round. And just to give you an update, Holiday went 4th or 5th overall to Colorado. So good luck to you, dude. You're gonna be hitting bombs in Colorado, but your team's gonna suck. Team is gonna suck. Let's see.
That Holiday name though was a big deal in Colorado for a long time. So
yeah,
it has to be a pretty cool story with him going there. And
now, you know what they have to do, right? They got to go sleeveless unis.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Sleeveless unis.
Yeah, so you
bring them
go
back.
off the fucking cannon
and then have Matt come sit behind the dugout with his sleeveless uni, guns out. Just
make
jacked.
Matt the fucking manager. It's not like anything's going well there right now. Let's just shake it all up.
He can't do any worse.
Yeah.
And when he becomes the manager, he has to wear sleeveless all the time, guns out. I don't care if it's November, October, because let's be honest, right now they're not playing in October and November. But I want to see that. I want to see that, and then maybe do push-ups. Keep the pump. Love it. Love that idea. Well, 2Ks. Let's jump into this home run derby here. Let's talk about the field. This field sucks.
Yeah.
Field sucks.
Yeah.
When you have
it really is
Jazz Chisholm
Yeah.
Now, is Jazz torpedo batting it up, or I'm assuming so.
Yeah.
I
I'm
mean, you
sure.
have to, right?
Yeah.
The torpedo bat's gotten you this far.
Mm-hmm.
But we got Byron Buxton, Junior Caminero, Jazz, O'Neal Cruz, love him. Matt Olson, who stepped in for Acuna, which I thought that was a little overzealous. You know, coming back from that
Mm-hmm.
knee injury, kept
Mm-hmm.
him out most of last year. Love the thought of it. Would have loved watching him do
Mm-hmm.
it. But I honestly think Olson is a very good replacement for that. Cal Raleigh, love it.
Oh yeah.
Brett Rooker, love it. James Wood, love it.
Yeah. Oh, I'm rooting so hard for the big dumper. I mean, every time he steps up to the plate, I'm just like I want him to hit a home run. Found myself rooting for him the other night when they was playing against the Tigers, and after they took the lead, the Tigers, I knew that they weren't going to come back and win, and I'm like, just fucking hit another home run, and he does. He ended up hitting a second home run. And I think that one might have been a grand slam in that
Mm-hmm.
situation, just to really put the game away. But man, what a fucking story. What a
Yeah,
story
love
he
it.
has been this season. I mean, what he's doing, I think to what, 30, is it 39 home runs that he
I think
has
so.
now?
Yeah.
That he ended with before the All-Star break, or 38 home runs, maybe.
38.
38 home runs, yeah. So because Bonds had 39
Yeah.
in his record-breaking season. So a catcher, for a major league catcher to be at 38 home runs at the All-Star break, fucking what a
Crazy.
story. Just
Crazy.
insane. I mean, in my opinion, I mean, I know, it's hard to argue with Aaron Judge, but in my opinion, I think he should be number one right now as far as
I gave him the MVP 2 weeks
yeah.
ago.
I think he should be number one. 38 home runs and being a catcher, like that's
He could not hit another home run this year. 38 bombs for a catcher is huge.
yeah.
Is huge.
Yep.
And granted, if you follow the show for any amount of time, I kind of went compared stats, and the only stat that that Raleigh has is home runs, and I think maybe RBIs. Judge is obliterating him in everything else, but add the catcher part into it. To me, that means something. And yeah, that's old news. Raleigh won the MVP 2 weeks
Yeah,
ago.
I mean, I think that as of right now, where we stand, like he should be the winner right now. I mean, being the catcher, this Seattle team's no joke. We talked about him last year being, that pitching staff that's still all there, is very, very good, but offensively they were just fucking terrible. Well, now with him doing what he's doing, hitting 38 home runs, getting some production out of Arozarena, getting production out of Julio here in the last few weeks.
Yeah.
Julio, in my opinion, has been maybe the most overrated player in all of baseball for the last couple of years.
Huge
Well,
disappointment.
and I kept saying that all about him. Well, he must have heard me because this week against the Tigers in that series, I think he ended up with 4 home runs in the series and just fucking completely went off. So, but no, if those three can keep that going, and with the pitching that they have, they're a team to look out for.
Oh yeah, yeah. So let's look at the odds. Who do you think? Do you think Dumper's leading this thing? Do you think just how hard James Wood hits the ball, is he up there? How bad does Jazz Chisholm, kind of trail in this? Well, let's take a look. Cal Raleigh leads it at plus 300. O'Neal Cruz plus 330. James Wood plus 400. Byron Buxton plus 850. Matt Olson plus 900. Caminero plus 950. Brett Rooker plus 1,000. Tied with Jazz for plus 1,000. Now, I'm taking Brett Rooker over Caminero, over Matt Olson, over Byron Buxton. But who is getting 2K's money put on him tomorrow?
I went with the hometown guy. I went Matt Olson.
You want Matt Olson?
Yep.
I like that pick.
Kind of I like the odds on it. He's the hometown kid. I think that you feed off of that energy, especially being in your own stadium. You know that the fans are going to be showing out for him.
And his swing is kind of tailor made for this a home run derby type.
I mean, you don't look at this and see like just off the chart favorite. Like there's not in years past where we've had like an Aaron Judge or Pete Alonso that you just instantly look at and like that guy.
Alonso decided to
hang it up. Yeah. One of the all-time best Derby hitters, though. I mean, Pete Alonso, you have to give credit for that. But he's
the Derby guy.
It was time to be done. Let some of these.
That's the only reason he made the All-Star team last year is because he's a Derby guy.
Yeah. Yep. And so I don't know. I mean, I would say if I was just picking who I think is going to win it, I think you got to go with the Dumper, just because he's just fucking strong, man. He just hits the shit out of the ball.
Oh, is he going to bat right or left-handed?
I don't know. I don't know enough
Truest part.
about to know where the advantage is, if it's lefty or righty. The one that is the most intriguing to me, that I really want to watch the most, is James Wood. I love everything about his offensive game, his swing. He got power to all sides of the field.
Mhm.
Um, I just, with those younger guys, you you just don't know how they're going to be in the Derby. Are they
Yeah,
going to just take off at the very beginning and just swing with everything they have, and then when they get into later rounds where you have to be
they're
more
gassed.
strategic, or they and then
Yeah.
they're gassed on it, and that's where I kind of look at the money, and why I go Olson on this is he's a seasoned vet. He's done this before. He also is the hometown guy, so as they do start to get tired, he's going to have
Mhm.
that home crowd advantage going for him, and I feel like he probably knows what he's doing with these things, a little bit
Yeah.
more than the others as far as pacing himself, and plus the guy fucking hits bombs, and he doesn't even really have to try. He's just a monster of a human being,
That's true.
and those are where I kind of like to go with these derbies, is the guys that don't really have to swing that hard to hit home runs.
Well, the guy who hits probably the hardest balls ever is O'Neal Cruz.
Yeah.
But I'm taking your boy James Wood. I want to see because I'll be perfectly frank. Have not watched a single Nationals game. I think it's awesome that he's doing this so people like me get to
Mm-hmm.
watch
Mm-hmm.
him because the Nats suck, even though they shouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
Swept by the Red Sox. Not only swept, but they fired their coach and GM.
Yeah.
What, a week and a half, a week, 10 days before the
Yep.
draft.
Yep.
That's pretty
Mm-hmm.
huge.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, they had the number one overall pick, so they pretty much had an idea of who they're going with anyway. But yeah, give me James Wood plus 400, and you're taking Olson at plus 9.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I love it.
Yeah, and actually, when I bet on it this morning, he was at plus 1,000. Olson
Oh,
was at the time. So
locked it in at plus
yeah.
1,000. Love it, love it. Well, 2Ks. Since you haven't been here, I'm going to give you first pick in the all-time home run derby draft. Now we're just going to go back and forth, no snake shit. So we're going to do our top 5 each home run derby guys.
Hmm. I mean, so this is just like, are we saying pure home run hitters, or like or derby moments, like going off of their particular?
I think I combined them. I combined them in like one, like your home run derby aura.
Okay.
Like you got more points if you produced a cool moment,
Okay.
things like that.
Number one, I'm going Josh Hamilton.
He was my one A.
Josh Hamilton. I
Or excuse me,
trying to
one B.
remember what year exactly that was when he did that, but that was hands down the most exciting, electric
It was
moment.
2008 in old Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, by far the most exciting home run derby I've ever watched. That
Mhm.
he was just fucking hitting bombs, and didn't even really look like he was trying.
No.
Just fucking swing was so
And
violent.
this was in the old format where you got 10 outs. It
Mm-hmm.
wasn't timed.
Yep.
So old buddy was just going
Yep.
on out.
Yep.
He go up, because I don't think he won this derby.
No, I don't think he did. I think he ended up getting beat at the end, but because he did everything in the first round.
Yeah.
Where,
He lost to Justin Morneau.
yeah, yeah. But and most of the time when you in that old format, you would have guys that would just take pitches, take pitch,
Yep.
take a pitch, take a pitch, take. He got
He did.
into a groove, and he swung the bat, I think, like 20 fucking straight times,
Yeah.
and all 20 balls went out, and he was hitting them
In the
like, ah,
Monument
yeah,
Park.
like, yeah, hitting
Yeah.
them up in the upper deck. I mean, the way upper deck of Yankee Stadium. Yeah, that to me was the best moment.
Well, to me, I'm going since you left me my 1A. I got to go Griffey.
Yeah.
No one. I mean, he didn't have like a certain signature moment like Hamilton did, but he's still the only guy to win 3 of them.
Mm.
Still the only guy, and you can't think '90s baseball without seeing or searching YouTube for highlights or clips. Junior backwards hat in one of the derbies,
Mhm.
and so to me, that's his. It's a culmination of moments. Let's put it that way. So I've got Griffey at one. Who's your two?
Number two, um, I'm going Mark McGuire. That kind
Yep.
of that whole. I think because that was the Derby. Went down the same time that him and Sosa were going through. Or
Believe,
right,
believe that was yeah, it was
the home run
99. It was the season
race.
after. Yeah.
Yeah, and I
Yep.
mean that was just incredible.
In
And
Fenway,
yeah,
just
yeah,
electric.
yeah, yep.
Him and
And
Sosa hitting bombs off
McGuire hitting
Lansdale.
them just hitting just fucking yeah
500-foot tanks.
yeah yeah
Love it.
just juicing like a motherfucker
Oh
too. I
yeah.
mean,
Oh yeah.
goddamn head was so fucking big there wasn't a hat in the world that could fit on that head, and just hitting fucking bombs. Yeah, so I'm going McGuire too.
Well, if you're going McGuire two, give me Sosa two. Because yeah, those that to me that because granted this was in '99, so you were quite a bit younger. That was like the quintessential. I was just out of high school. We just had the 70 home run season with McGuire the year previous. The whole race with him, Sosa, and Griffey and
Mm-hmm.
Greg Vaughn. Don't forget
Mm-hmm.
him. But it all kind of that was awesome, obviously, but this to me was even cooler because Red Sox fan, last time the last time Fenway hosted
Mm-hmm.
the All Star game was in '99.
Mm-hmm.
We need to get that shit back to Boston here, MLB. Let's do that. But yeah, it was just awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It was just awesome. So yeah, I'll take Sosa two. How about your third?
Number three, I'm going Judge.
Judgy.
He won his in what 2017.
Yep.
Wasn't it rookie?
Yep.
Yeah, his rookie season. That was kind of him setting the stage for
Quite
what.
possibly some of the ugliest uniforms.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, oh
All-Star
yeah,
uniforms.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But that was like kind of his coming out party. That season, obviously, rookie season, he had close to 30 home runs going into the All Star break, and just kind of hit the ground running. And here we are now in 2025, and to me, he's the best home run hitter there is in baseball.
I
I'll
know, yeah.
probably make an argument that he's one of the best home run hitters I've ever seen in my life. So I'm going Judge three.
I'll take. I'm not sure if it was Giancarlo or Mike back then. Stanton,
Uh-huh.
Marlins days.
Yes.
Looks like it was 2016. Um, ESPN has a write up says Park isn't exactly the best stadium to host a home run derby. This is Petco, but Yellowstone Park could not have contained Stanton on this day. Stanton hit 61 home runs on his way to the title, with rounds 27 or 24, 17, and 20. With Statcast now available in 2016, Stanton's power stood out even more. He hit the 20 hardest hit home runs of the contest and had the 10 longest home runs. Love it. But yeah, but that was healthy Stanton. So that's my was that three or four? Three.
Three. Number four. I probably out of all these guys that we've talked about, this is probably my favorite player out of all of them. I'm going Bryce Harper,
I don't.
2018.
Yep.
Won it in front of the home crowd.
With his dad pitching to him.
Yep, yep. And I just always been a huge Harper fan. Same age, I can remember when I was going through high school and stuff, and was always reading about this kid. And he was the same exact age as me, so it was obviously I jumped in and wanted to follow him, and so I feel like I followed basically him all the way up through like when we were middle school, high school, and I love the way that he plays the game. He's electric, he's energy, and yeah, I just always been a huge Bryce Harper fan. So I'm taking him forward, and to win a home run derby in front of your hometown crowd
With your
like
dad
that,
pitching too.
yeah, with your dad pitching, that's pretty fucking
And
awesome.
his dad is jacked. Fucking jacked. And now Bryce is one of the best first basemen in the league.
hmm
Who would have known?
hmm
Who would have known?
And won that that derby in 2018 in front of the home crowd with who is now his teammate over because he
Yeah,
beat
Schwarber.
Schwarber in the finals.
Yep. Well, we talked about him. We made fun of him a little bit. Give me the polar bear.
Mhm.
He is home run derby guy.
Yep.
He is home run derby guy. And not we've all seen him the past couple of years. Last year he sucked. So thank God he decided this year, you know what? Nah, I'm good.
Mhm.
I'm good. Arguably having one of his better seasons, start first half wise.
Mhm.
If you're a Mets fan, you kind of hope that continues, but thank goodness he's passed the torch to someone else to be the Derby guy because you don't want to be known as the Derby
Yep.
guy. So he's had his time in the sun. So Polar Bear, you can go. Just thank you for sitting this one out.
Yep.
All right, who's going to round out your five?
Last one, I'll go with Vladdy Jr. Pete Alonso won that home run derby in 2019 over Vladdy, but Vladdy in the opening round is kind of similar to Josh Hamilton. He actually beat Josh Hamilton's score in that first round of the 2019 home run derby with 29 home runs. Now, obviously, it was a different system than what they had with Josh Hamilton.
Right.
There was a timer on this one, so you really can't compare it. But still, 29 home runs in an opening round, pretty incredible.
Yep. And I'm going to go with a homer. I'm going Poppy.
Hmm.
I'm going Poppy. I know he you really don't think of him as being like a home run derby guy, but give me Poppy.
Yeah.
Give me Poppy. So that's our top. That's our top five home run derby participants. Just to kind of give you an idea what ESPN thinks. They had Josh Hamilton 1, Vlad Jr. in 2019 2. Excuse me, Jock Peterson in 2019 3. Aaron Judge in 17 4. Stanton in 16 number 5. Bobby Abreu in 2005. However, I remember vividly that his swing was terrible after the All-Star game. And they have him at 6. Alonso in 19 at number 7. Todd Frazier in 2015 at number 8. And Bryce Harper, number 9, 2018. And Big Mac, 1999, rounding out the top 10. So we pick and chose, picked and choose through there. But all in all, I think ESPN would agree with our lists. I think they'd agree. Well, 2Ks. Anything else on the Derby here? How's the draft going? Like I said, I was shocked at how many, and they were all, not all of them, but the vast majority of the first top 20 or 15 or 20 picks were high school shortstops.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm just looking. The Tigers took a high school shortstop and with their first pick, and they took a high school catcher with their second pick. Which high school catchers are that's kind of a shock that they went there. Normally, when you see teams drafting these catchers up higher in the draft or early, on day one, they're college catchers that have more of the experience. But I don't know. I don't know either. I don't know a thing about either one of these kids, but honestly, I don't know much about really any of these kids in this draft. So
You don't get down and dirty.
I don't get real down and dirty with that. No, it's all such a crapshoot. So many kids. It all to me. It comes down to what these organizations can do as far as developing talent. Can they develop the talent? We all know all these kids are loaded with talent. It's can they be developed?
And I would say baseball. I would say probably, compared to any other sport, is the biggest crapshoot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how many number 1 overall picks do we never see?
Right. I mean,
do we never see?
I mean, just from we're starting to see, reap some of the benefits of it this year now, finally. But Casey Mize was 1-1. He was supposed to be the guy, and now we're he's probably
welcome to the All-Star game, Casey Mize.
Yeah, been 7-8 years since he's been drafted and we're finally this year seeing what he's capable of. And then same thing with Torkelson. Like, he was 1-1. Was supposed to be the guy that pencil in just in a couple of years. They tried it and they did it and ended up back in AAA. Then he came back up last season. And then going into this year, didn't even really know if he was going to be a guy for that was going to be playing with Detroit, or if he was going to be traded or moved. And now finally he's having kind of his best season of his career with over 20 home runs at the All-Star break. So it's finally starting to pay off. But that's where you talk. There's all this talk about all these kids. I mean, we've heard it now with Jackson Holiday for so long, and Jackson Holiday's hitting what 245, 250, and
somewhere in there,
and 8 home runs or 9 home runs or something on the season. So it's like, do I think that he's going to be really, really good? Yes, but a lot of these situations, it takes time. You know, these what they're facing and what they're seeing on a day-to-day basis in majors is nothing that they've ever seen before. And all these high school games, or travel games or whatever they play going up, it takes time. Very, very few can just jump off and kind of hit the ground running and go with it. And it doesn't happen very often.
Not all of them are Paul Skeens.
No. No.
what Skeens did,
And
and
watching Paul Skeens when he was pitching at LSU, it was like, okay, this is
men
something
amongst
that we've
boys.
just
Yeah,
never seen this type of talent at the college level. We're just mowing motherfuckers down all the way to a College World Series.
yeah, yeah, and not even having to pitch in the game three
Yeah.
because
Yeah, and
the game was won.
went through that college World Series where they fucking threw him all the time and was pitching on like 3 or 4 days rest and getting him back out there
Mm-hmm.
and was just throwing and was ending games in the and after having 3 or 4 days off only going in and then ending the next game pitching complete game and throwing the last pitch at 99 100 or something. It's just insane. It was just insane.
Well, 2Ks, let's go to our first half recap, and since I've been doing all the Tigers glazing here, one thing that I wish I still had the stat. Actually, let me hold on. Please hold, because I caught a ton of shit because the Tigers are the only one in their division over 500. The Tigers are the only one with a plus run differential in their division. Now, I brought this stat out, and let me here. Yep, here we go. And I did feature it on the show, I believe, last week. Don't let the this is a tweet from Tony Garcia from the Detroit Free Press. I'll give you this stat, and then I'll let you jump off here, 2Ks. PSA: don't let people say the Tigers are winning, quote unquote, because they're in a bad division. It's lazy. Their record versus the AL Central, and this was last week. So obviously the numbers have changed. 15-9 with a winning percentage of 625. Record versus everyone else, 38-23. Almost exactly the same winning percentage. It's .623. It's objectively wrong. They're good because they're good. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. And that was kind of what I was trying to hammer home. And I remember going back to when we were trying to pick our winners for the division and stuff. I said that the winner of this division has to have the best record against the White Sox. Now, we've seen the White Sox still be terrible, but not quite as terrible as last year.
Yeah, they're not as bad as
which is the Rockies are doing that for them. But I think if I would have told you that only one team in this division was over 500 and had an 11.5 game lead in the division, I don't know if I could have put the Tigers there preseason.
Mm-hmm.
I think honestly I would have been leaning towards the Royals, and the Royals have kind of been a disappointment this year.
Yeah,
I mean, Bobby Witt can only do so much. They're just not a good team. The Guardians kind of having a sophomore slump under their head coach. The Twins, are they going to be sellers? I think so.
I think they have.
I think so.
I think they have to be.
So, and I want to say that the Tigers, the percentage chance to make the playoffs is like 99 point something, and aside from a catastrophic collapse, they're going to be in the postseason. They're going to win this division. So, like I said, I've been glazing for about 2 straight weeks. So the floor is yours. Give me your TED Talk on these Tigers. I know we've kind of touched on a few things. So if there's any things you want to wrap up, or just take the floor.
Well, I mean, you caught me on it. You caught me on the day where they just finished up a series with Seattle, where it was the first time all season long that they'd been swept, which is impressive. That you go all the way to the halfway point of the season, All-Star break, and that's when you finally get swept for the first time. On the season. And that's why when you look at them having the best record in baseball right now, that's why they have not had a moment this season where they went into this major slump. And it's like, this has been their worst moment. This has been their worst week. They just got swept by Seattle, and now they get to regroup and have the All-Star break to kind of, go and, for a few of them, go and enjoy their time at the All-Star break. For the rest of them, fucking take some time, get some time away from it, regroup, reset.
Bullpen arms especially.
Yes. And that's, and they've had injuries. Like, they've had to battle through some shit with this, as far as it wasn't until just a month ago that they got Parker Meadows for the first time. Parker Meadows has been terrible since starting, but I think he's going to get it the more games that he gets in. I keep
Hmm.
thinking back to last season where he really, really struggled. He struggled so bad that they sent him down. And
Hmm.
then when they brought him back up, he was kind of the focal point. He was the catalyst of that team of when they got hot and ran that all the way into the postseason and making the playoffs last year. So I feel like he's hopefully going to get it going. Matt Vierling is another one that plays out in the outfield, kind of super versatile guy where they can play him around in the infield at third base at times. But I think he's truly an outfielder for him. Um, Also been in and out of the lineup, but I think one of their most important bats in their lineup, especially against righties, Kerry Carpenter.
Yeah.
He's been out for the last couple of weeks now. He ended up hurting himself the Sunday game that I went to when he was legging out a triple, and he's had that same hamstring issue going back to last year in the postseason. That's what put him out in the Cleveland series
Yeah.
was the hamstring, and it's been still been battling it this year. So from what I've seen, I mean, don't get me wrong. This team has been incredible to watch. I love the way that they approach it. I love AJ Hinch and the way that he's a baseball mastermind and how he has a thumbprint on everything that goes on and how he's able to not only set up a pitching staff and set up a game as far as how he uses his pitchers and where he brings them in, but also how he uses, he's got a right-handed special bat that's in that lineup all the time. It's just waiting for when teams go to a lefty and they can put them in, and the guys just seem to always fucking make the play. Like
Hmm.
he'll throw some guy in there like Jemai Jones that anybody outside of Detroit doesn't even know who the fuck the guy is. And he just comes in, and AJ's put him in 3 or 4 times this year in situations late in ball games where they go to a lefty to try to, whenever it's because the Tigers have a lot of left-handed batters, and here comes AJ comes and throws in Jemai Jones in there, and Jemai Jones rips a double off in the gap and scores a big run or whatever to win games. It just seems like he's always pressing the right button. That being said, they have some shit that they got to work out.
Hmm.
Their pitching is I don't I mean, it would not shock me if they look at some of these other teams that are selling and maybe they try to look for another starting pitcher to work that maybe they can use him. The injury to Jackson Jobe is catching up with them. They not having Reese Olson for a long time. They're getting him back now. He has pitched his last couple outings. Hasn't been real sharp, but I think more time. They definitely need bullpen help.
Hmm.
Outside of Will Vest, who got into some trouble today, Conley has been very solid for him, but he's had a couple outings where he's not really good. To me, they have to. That's the number one thing they have to address is they have to get a late inning pitcher that can miss bats. Because it seems like a lot of the guys in their bullpen don't necessarily miss bats. They just, don't give up a lot of hard contact, which is
Hmm.
fine. But in the playoffs, there's always big time moments, big
Oh
time
yeah.
hitters. You have to be able to come in and have a guy that can strike guys out and get out of it.
100%.
And then on top of that, like I just think, and a lot of Zach McKinstry's making it tough because few weeks ago, the talk was you go try to go get Suarez, put
Hmm.
him at third base. He's got close to 30 home runs going into this All Star break. Obviously, would lead Detroit in home runs. Would be a huge addition to him. But then Zach McKinstry's been playing so fucking good. Not that he's hitting a lot of home runs and anything like that, but he just does like I don't know. For instance, if you go back to last Sunday when they were playing against Cleveland, it was a 1-0 ball game. Skubal pitched for him, and Skubal had given up 1 run, and the Tigers looked like
Hmm.
we're going to lose the game 1-0. And in the ninth inning, Class A comes in for Cleveland, and you're thinking
That's
it's
done.
it's over. It's ball game, and he hits Torkelson and puts Torkelson on first, and the AJ pinch runs McKinstry for Torkelson, and Torkelson steals or McKinstry steals second and then gets down to third on a ground ball and then scores on a pass ball to make it a 1-1 game and they go to extras and then they
Hmm.
win it in extra innings. It's just they keep finding little ways to win games. They're a fun team to watch, but they're going to need help. They have to do things and I don't even know honestly like the story's been really really fun to watch but like I keep on looking at some of these other teams, especially teams and I know that they only have to play one of these National League teams,
Hmm.
but I keep looking at like the Dodgers. The Tigers can't beat the Dodgers in the postseason. They
There's a
can't.
lot of people that can beat the Dodgers right now.
Yeah, I mean, but what? All these teams go through these moments, but like that Dodgers team, like they're basically the same fucking team from last year.
Hmm.
That Dodgers team in the postseason last year, it was just big hit after big hit after big moment, whether it was Mookie Betts, whether it was Shohei, whether it was Freddie Freeman, whether it was Teoscar Hernandez. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
just all the way. The Tigers, I don't know where that's going to come. Like Skubal can only throw, one game, then he has to take a few games
Right.
off,
Right.
So it's like you feel great about every single moment where Skubal's pitching, but when Skubal's not pitching, that's what scares me with this team is you can only AJ can only piece together so much. You get to a point where eventually everything kind of catches up with you, and a lot of these teams, their rosters on paper and what they have available and who they have as far as bats in the lineup, they're just fucking better than Detroit's. And the story's been great with Detroit. And I look, I still think that they are. I still think they're the best team in the American League. I still
Mm-hmm.
think that they have a very good shot of getting there. But if they don't add a big a power bat like a Suarez that can
Yeah.
change things, and they don't add, at least one bullpen pitcher. I think they maybe possibly need two pitchers. Um, that they're not going to do it.
Let's go kind of unorthodox here. You brought up the Dodgers. Tigers are 59 and 38. Dodgers are 58 and 39. So game behind.
Mm-hmm.
They're winners of their last two, but they're only 3 and 7 in their last 10. Glasnow's back or is coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Snell is doing his rehab work. And yes, and this is just my opinion. I have no stats to back this up. This is just my feeling. This Dodgers team, even though they are the second, they have the second best record in baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Injuries. I mean, at one point they were like asking folks from the crowd to start ball games for them. Like they're pitching consistently, even going back to last year, and we touched on it. Leading up to this season is, yeah, they went out and got Blake Snell, awesome. They went out and got the Japanese kid, awesome. He sucked. Probably a little bit too early to come over here, but did they need him to be a Cy Young Award winner this year? No.
Mm-hmm.
Did they need Blake Snell to be a Cy Young Award winner this year to be successful? No. They need them to be healthy, and neither one really has. Add Glasnow onto that too. He's in the 2 seasons he spent in LA, hasn't really been healthy. Yes, they're throwing Ohtani, but one inning at a time. You and I have spent many shows talking about he would never touch a baseball like that again, and there's literally no way you could put him as a closer, just because you would never you can't predict when he's going to be up. The only way to use him is either a starter or an opener, and he's been better than okay, but he's not the same Ohtani. To be the same Ohtani, I need him to go more than 1 inning, which now mind you, we're sitting here at the All-Star break. It could progress into more. I get it. But as it is right now, this Dodgers team is gettable. Mookie Betts is having one of the worst offensive seasons of his career. Now, granted, numbers are still good, but they're not Mookie good. And this is, kind of going back to what we talked about leading up into last year is, okay, he's going to be a shortstop. How is his offense going to be affected by being a shortstop, or is it just going to be the same old Mookie? It doesn't matter. Right field, second base, shortstop, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Well, this is remember he was hurt last year. When he came back, they put him back into right, and we saw kind of Mookie be Mookie. And now he's stayed healthy, remained at shortstop, and we've kind of seen that the offensive numbers kind of suffer. Is it because of that? Who knows? But that's probably the first thing everyone points to. So if you give me right now, today, July 13th, 7-game series against the Dodgers, yes, the Tigers would probably be underdogs in that, and I'm smashing that all day. All day. And I'm still not sold that the Padres can't catch the Dodgers, because the Padres are kind of like the wild card when it comes to the trade deadline. You never know what the fuck they're going to do. Do they have holes? Yes, they do. Every team in baseball has holes. Some bigger than others, but and then the one clip that I was saving to talk about the Giants here, 2Ks, is this is from Nick O'Malley over on Twitter. Will Clark himself confirmed the story from at Will Fleming that Rafael Devers no-showed 3 times when he showed up early to provide mentoring at first base. Now, I didn't want to like lead the show with this just because I'm tired of all the Rafi drama.
Mm-hmm.
And Will Clark actually came out and said that the reason he didn't want to do it is the Red Sox were in town. We'd be doing this right in front of their
Mm-hmm.
dugout, which I get.
Mm-hmm.
I get.
Mm-hmm.
But at least after the first one, would you be like, yo, dude,
Mm-hmm.
not wait till 3 times and then be like, oh, yeah, I just didn't want to do it because of that.
Mm-hmm.
We were kind of alluding to this prior to
Mm-hmm.
that, and his offense has been terrible since he's gotten
Mm-hmm.
there. Maybe a product of Fenway. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But he really did love hitting there.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe he's just getting used to new surroundings. Who knows?
I mean,
but it is what
Fenway is a very very hitter friendly ballpark, and where he's at now in San Fran,
Yeah.
that is not a hitter. That's not a hitter friendly ballpark. So, and especially for his swing, he hit a lot. He lived a lot on
no.
those wall scrapers, getting over the monster for home runs, hitting them the other way, and that's just a fucking fly out where he's at now.
Yeah, yeah. So, I do still think that the Dodgers do win the West.
Mhm.
I think because right now it's 5.5 games. Giants are 6 back. I do think this will get down to like 1.5, 2 games by the time the season's done. But with like we were talking about the Central, I would be shocked if the Tigers keep that 11.5 game cushion there.
Yeah.
Just because they don't
I feel
have
like
to.
some of these other teams too are gonna like. I feel like Kansas City's gonna have a moment where they're gonna get hot,
and the Twins are gonna fall off.
But we'll see. There's a chance too that when you start thinking about all those 3 teams in the Central, what are they? Are they all gonna sell? Because they might have to.
Yeah.
I mean, Kansas City has Seth Lugo. I mean, that's one as being a Tigers fan, he's one that I'm looking at of having some interest in.
Oh yeah.
There's 2 guys at the back end of that bullpen for the Twins that I would definitely take.
You mentioned Class A.
Yeah, and then Class A back end of the bullpen for Cleveland. I think Cleveland needs to really look at trading him just because
100%.
of what they have with Caden Smith already, and so Cleveland's at that time, and I think a lot of people said it last year. Like last year was their time; they needed to go do it. That bullpen was pitching out of their mind. Ramirez was playing out of his mind. Stephen Kwan was playing. I mean, they had some dudes that were playing. They had that.
Yeah.
They called up that Noel in the season. He was hitting home runs.
Big Christmas.
And yes, and it was like it was their moment. They had to do it because after that, they're gonna start to lose a lot of these guys, and a lot of these pitchers were gonna go elsewhere, and all that. But it's to me, it's the Tigers and the Royals in this division that they are so young and so they're built for success
100%.
for so long. I mean, you talked about Bobby Witt earlier, but the Caglione kid, I mean, the sky's the limit for him. Like he is going to be him and Bobby Witt having them wrapped up for the next 10 years at least there in Kansas City. That's fucking huge. Like that, those are going to be two of the best players in the American League for a long time, and you get to watch them together. That's huge for Kansas City. So, and look, I don't want anybody sitting here think that I'm just bashing on the Tigers saying that they can't do it, because I think that they can, but they have to address some things. I mean, and when I say that they have to get arms, and whether it's starting pitching and definitely bullpen pitching, is there's just not a lot of guys that they bring out of that bullpen that people around the league fear. Boston has a guy in Aroldis Chapman. When he comes out of the bullpen, the other team is already just fucking packing their bats up, putting their shit away. Like, game's over. And that's what I think Detroit doesn't have right now is they need that closer or setup guy, or take Will Vest of who's been their closer right now to maybe put him in more of a setup role, or use him sparingly and keep using Conley as their setup guy. However they want to do it. I just want to have a guy in the bullpen that AJ can go to. He's going to come out in the 9th, and he's going to just shut the fucking door, because as soon as the teams see him coming out of the bullpen, it's like, fuck. It's just like last year with Cleveland having Class A. As soon as he comes out of the bullpen,
done.
Yep, pack your shit. We ain't winning this one.
So, Tommy Trumpets.
Yes, and that's where that the closer for Minnesota. Like, I don't know if teams in the same division are going to be real interested in working with the Tigers on trades, But that closer that they've had there, his name it gets me right now. I can't think of it, but he's one that I would want. That Jax is the one that they use as their setup
Mhm.
guy. Got another guy that throws hard. That's somebody that I'm interested in. I wanted the Tigers to, be on the phone with Boston about Chapman, but now with Boston playing the way they're playing, they're not selling. So
Even though half the fan base wants him.
yeah, well, Boston fans are fucking
They
ridiculous,
are.
anyways.
They
Like
are.
it's such a
He's on a 1 year
yeah,
deal.
yeah.
Would you just going to let him walk?
Uh,
He's 38 years old. Well,
three weeks ago,
dude is jacked, for one.
3 weeks ago, Carabas was on fucking suicide watch, and I was actually worried about the guy. And now he doesn't shut the fuck up about Boston, and this is the best Boston team of all time, the way he talks.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, Boston fans are just ridiculous. But no, I think it's going to be a fun second half, and for all of us Tigers fans that are enjoying this season like we should. Most of the time at this time of the year, you're getting ready to lose a guy like a Jack Flaherty, or you're getting ready to trade a Lorenzen, or you're looking at the deadline of, all right, who the fuck are we gonna get rid of this
When
year?
when the
And
Lions start?
yep, and who are we gonna get this? Who are we gonna get rid of this year? And what fucking prospect that we've never heard of are we gonna get in return? To where this year it's like, all right, now we're fucking at the top, and now we're looking for
Mhm. Yeah.
who's gonna put us over the top.
Yeah. And you guys drafted what, like 25th?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
that's far
yeah,
away from where
yeah.
Tigers fans are used
Yeah,
to.
so for that part, being good and not having a top draft pick is, most of the time when you get to the draft time, that was like a really exciting day for me because you're drafting in the top five, so
Yeah.
we're gonna get somebody that like a Max Clark.
Dud. Yeah.
Yeah, and now Tigers draft at 25 and they drafted a kid I even never fucking heard of him. So
Well, 2Ks. Let's take a peek at the AL West. And this was a division that I think all of us kind of wrote the Astros off. Trade Kyle Tucker. Let Bregman walk. This team's done. This team sucks.
uh,
Lance McCullers, who knows what the
Jordan's
fuck's
been
he doing.
hurt all season,
Yeah,
so hasn't even been a part of any of
yeah.
this. Yeah.
They had Altuve in left field, and in preseason looked terrible,
Hmm.
terrible. Well, they're 55-41 with. Oh no, excuse me. They're 56-40 with a 5-game lead over the Mariners, which you already hit on. Um, Mariners were a sexy pick in this division. The Rangers were a sexy pick. I think I was riding the Ranger train, but they're 8.5 back, 1 game under 500. They could be sellers. Get Nate Eovaldi.
Yeah.
Probably, there's gonna be a lot of teams calling up Texas, being like, "Hey,
Hmm.
give us
To
Big
me,
Nate."
the team that is the most intriguing to watch is Arizona.
Mhm.
Arizona has so many things, and in my opinion, they have to sell.
Yeah,
Like they're not gonna catch up. They're not gonna win the division. It's gonna be an uphill battle to even get to, and they have an expiring deal in Suarez, who you believe whether it's the Tigers, whether it's the Cubs, whether it's the Yankees. I mean, somebody's gonna is gonna
list goes on and on and on.
and and then you look at what they have, Zach Gallen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's when you start talking about, these teams wanting to add a proven vet. And I understand that he hasn't been, great. He hasn't been Zach Gallen, what we've seen the last couple of years out of him, or what we know he's capable of. But a change of scenery, something tells me that he'd fucking figure it out, especially
Right.
when they started, getting into like postseason play. They got the Merrill Kelly, another innings eater pitcher in that. Like, they have some guys there that I think that they would be very smart to sell, but I think they're also looking at it of, we have young talent and Corbin Carroll, we have Ketel Marte. We don't want to sell on this because you have that, but their offense is loaded. They have to get better pitching.
So getting back to the West, are you buying that the Astros are back? They're legit. They're still gonna roll.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. I mean, fuck, they're doing what they've and you go back a month ago, and we talked earlier about, the big dumper being the MVP and Aaron Judge being their race or whatever. Jeremy Pena was having
Oh, he's
huge season, and he's been out for the last
his best season so far.
he's been out for the last 3 weeks, and kind of thought, okay, well, Houston's going to struggle here for without him. They've been just fucking fine. They're going to get him back after the break, and no, I think Houston's going to be the team that will win that division.
NL East, Phillies sit atop 56 or 55 and 41, half game above the Mets. All three other teams in this division are done so. Miami, their biggest trade piece is Alcantara, who's
Mm-hmm.
terrible.
Mm-hmm.
So at that point, you just keep him and hopefully resurrect him next year. Wait till the offseason or just get rid of it now.
I think you
Because that's
trade.
about
I think they got to trade him now, and I think there's some teams. I think he does have some. There would be some teams that would give up some decent prospect or two for him.
he's been linked heavily with the Cubs,
Mm-hmm.
which is that's
Makes a
a
lot
good
of
fit.
sense. Cubs need
Good
him,
fit.
and for a guy like him too, that where we've seen how good he can be as a pitcher. Something tells me a change of scenery and getting out of the Marlins organization, which you showed on the earlier slide of them obviously never fucking paying anybody.
Right.
So I can't imagine a lot of people were really wanting to go hard to work for that organization. So him getting out of there and going and say he does go and become a Cub, like Cubs are fucking good,
Mm-hmm.
and their offense is maybe the best offense in all of baseball. Um, they've just been hit by the injury bug pitching wise, and to add an arm like that, and if he can be anything of a shell of what he used to be, could be a huge addition for a team like the Cubs.
100%. You taking the Phillies or the Mets?
It's gonna be a fun. It's gonna be a fun race to watch. As it all goes down,
You,
I'm gonna go with the Mets. I think.
you know the Mets are going to be buying.
Yeah, I think the Mets are gonna buy. I think both these teams will be pretty aggressive.
Dombrowski's in Philly still,
Yeah,
right? So you know they're going to
yeah.
buy.
I think both teams are gonna be very aggressive. I just think with the Mets, you know, I don't think Lindor's been great this first half. I think he's gonna pick it up and be better. Soto hasn't been great this first half. He's gonna pick it up and get going. And when those two get going, I mean, shit, It's hard to find a better.
And Alonso having
Yeah,
a bet,
Pete's been great. I mean,
yeah,
he's been
kind of a
arguably the best out of
resurrected
all of
Nemo.
them.
Yeah.
Nemo's had a pretty solid season
Mm-hmm.
for him. Um, I just think that it's hard to find a better 1, 2, 3, 4. In all of baseball as far as what they have, and once they get it going, I, I see them beating the Phillies, but that's going to be a fun race to watch.
Speaking of watching, if you're watching on ESPN, they're doing a doc on Jim Abbott.
Mm,
Man, he looks old.
mm-hmm,
And then they just went to Matt Noakes, old Tigers catcher.
mm-hmm.
I have a bunch of 1987 Topps cards of his. So I was like, damn, I know. Yep, that's him. That's him. Speaking of the Cubs, let's go to the Central here. I know the record sucks, but your boy, speaking of ex-Detroit guys, coaching in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
If he would have been the coach all year, I'm not saying they're contending for the division. I'm not saying they're making the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks, optics wise,
Mm-hmm.
it looks a whole lot different. Don Kelly has made a difference. And I didn't even know he was in baseball until he got named the replacement.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh shit, Donnie Kelly.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. But the Brewers have kind of come out of nowhere, at least for me.
Didn't they do that? Don't they do it every year? It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
every. I mean, I said it when we were doing our picks at the
Mhm.
beginning of this season. Like, I'm taking them because
They do it every year.
Yeah, they do this every year, and and I think a month or so ago it was like, oh, this is finally I take them, and now they're gonna shit the bed. Well, here they are. Got hot and figured some things out, and yeah, they're just always a fucking good team.
I I still think the thing that's going to separate the Cubs from the Brewers is the Cubs are going to be buyers.
Yeah.
The Brewers have never known to be buyers. Hell, a lot of times they'll sell and get better somehow, but that's going to be the catalyst here. Excuse me, is that Cubs are going to get better,
Yeah.
and I don't think any one of these other teams, because I mean even the Cardinals, they're
I think the Cardinals are gonna sell.
yeah they
I
have
think
to
they have to. I mean,
have to.
they got some pretty big guys in that lineup that I think would benefit some teams, and teams are gonna
Arenado.
be looking at. Guy like Arenado, which I don't know if teams will want to pick up on his contract. Cards would probably have to be willing to eat some of that. But I just think that they're in a situation where they have been a pleasant surprise. I think if you were to ask a lot of St. Louis fans, I think they've kind of outplayed what their expectation
Sure.
was going into the season.
Came out of the gate
But
gangbusters.
they have at a time you have to also, you know, you have to look at the reality of things and say, okay, this Cubs team is much better than we
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
This Brewers team is much better than we are. And even if we were to say we're going to try to play for a wild card spot, we can't compete with really any of these other, you know, top end teams throughout the National League. So
Just to give you an idea, the excuse me, Cardinals are only a game and a half back of the third wild card spot. However, they'd have to jump the Giants and the Padres, and the two teams above them with the other two wild card spots are the Mets and the Brewers. You don't see the Mets falling off. If nothing else, the Phillies will replace them. So, yeah, even though they are 1.5 games back the third spot, that's a big 1.5 games.
the thing
Big
with
games.
with the Padres and Giants, what they have going against them is they just beat each other up.
Yes.
That division beats each other up.
Yes. Well, 2Ks, let's talk about the American League East. And I saved this for last, not only because my Red Sox are in it, but this division doesn't make any fucking sense. Let me explain why. The Orioles are supposed to be good. They suck.
Got off to such a bad, like,
Terrible start.
buried themselves because really the last month and a half or so kind of have played pretty legitimate baseball, but unfortunately buried themselves so early in the year that they can't get out of it.
No, and their DH Ryan O'Hearn going to be one of the major pieces at the trade deadline, but they stink. All these young kids, all these kids that are going to be, you know, core players for the next decade, stink.
All these players that
you wouldn't trade.
All these players that last year, you know, basically called Detroit fans and Detroit, you know, sports writers idiots because they were going to fucking trade Jackson Holiday and Kobe Mayo for Tarek Skubal. But they want Skubal now.
Yeah.
It's, which, boy, am I glad that trade never fucking happened.
And then the team right above them, the Rays, they're supposed to be terrible. They're not. They're 3 games over 500. 5.5 back of the Blue Jays. Getting the Blue Jays. Who would ever thought they'd be leading this division? This was supposed to be the Yankees division, especially the way they got off to their start. The Yankees suck, which you and I kind of called that.
Yeah, they outside of Judge, there's just not a lot in that lineup that really fucking scares.
But they're better without Soto. they're playing in free agency. You know, they're going to get, you know, Max Fried. They're going to get Paul Goldschmidt. They're going to get this old guy. They're going to get that old guy.
Yeah.
This package is better than Juan Soto. What are you talking about?
That anybody that says that they're better without Soto, that's the most fucking horse. The first person that would say that's horseshit is Aaron Judge, because teams are figuring out now we just don't pitch to Judge.
No.
Just walk him.
No.
We'll get beat, and we're gonna be okay with getting beat by the Yankees if somebody without number 99 on their jersey beats us.
100%.
We'll just walk him, put him on base, and whatever happens from out there. We're just not gonna let Judge beat us.
To the start of the season, Goldschmidt was playing out of his mind. It wasn't the same player he was when he was in St. Louis the prior couple years. It seemed like he'd fallen off planet Earth, and now all of a sudden he's leading the league in batting average. You're like, what the fuck is going on? So, and then the Red Sox, a lot of people picked this team to win this division. They basically up until a month ago were 500. The same place we've been the last 3 years, 500.
Yep.
And now we're 500 with different pieces. You know, we finally had the Red Sox have their ace, Garrett Crochet, which, mind you, if you want to, when you're bored at work this coming week, look at Skubal's stats this year compared to Crochet's. Very, very similar. Aside from the record, but very similar. But this turnaround with the Red Sox right now, no one would have ever thought. No one at the beginning of the year. Devers is in year 3 of a 9-year deal.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Yeah.
I mean, he's all right. DH, cool. All right. Well, he won't play first base. All right. He's still the best DH in the American League. Cool. Now, and then the whole discussion was, when are these kids going to get up? All right. Well, Campbell made it opening day. He's down in Worcester. Bregman goes down. Meyer comes out. So then we watch Roman Anthony hit a 550-foot bomb. You're like, all right, what more does this guy have to do?
Right.
So then he makes his way up. And I think a lot of Boston fans were like, all right, the kids are here.
Mm-hmm.
Now we go.
Yep.
The only problem is, forgot the key word, kids.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Kids.
Mm-hmm. Take some
And
time.
now
And
Roman Anthony is starting to be the Roman Anthony minus the power
yeah.
that I think all of us knew he could be.
Mm-hmm.
Marcelo Meyer, same thing. A little bit more pop right now.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't playing against lefties yet.
Yeah.
But still isn't it? And neither one of those guys are in their regular position. Roman's a left fielder. Meyer's a shortstop. Well, guess who's playing shortstop? Trevor Story, who which 99% of Boston's fan base wanted him the hell off the team. They wanted him DFA'd.
Yeah.
Dude's been the best
Dude's
hitter.
been the best. Yeah. Yeah. 100%. Absolutely.
And then another guy people wanted off the team, Cedon Rafaela, we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
Arguably the hottest hitter in baseball
Mm-hmm.
right now.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow we have a platoon at first base now, which if you add them together, I don't even want any of the first base free agents or potential trade pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Give me those guys. I'm fine with it. So then you go to the flip side with the pitching.
Mm-hmm.
Crochet's been nails
Mm-hmm.
as advertised. Well, where do we go from here?
Mm-hmm.
Giolito stunk to beginning of the season. Dude's been untouchable in his past like 10 starts. Walker Buehler sucked.
Yeah, man, that's
Sucked.
been a huge one.
The last 3 outings, serviceable.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the shit.
Who's the one that just came back that ended up tore his ACL?
Yeah, Dobbins.
That one sucked.
Hunter Dobbins.
Mm-hmm.
That sucks.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, all right, there's a need.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and Brian Bayo, great comeback.
Mm-hmm.
So we're seeing now
But-
kind of the vision that Cora in the front office had.
If I'm Boston, though, I'm on the phone with Kansas City about
100%.
Lugo. I want Lugo.
Or Ryan
or-
from Minnesota.
Yep.
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 Those
And I think
would be,
I think you get Lugo cheaper.
Yeah.
And Lugo might be the better pitcher out of the
Right
two.
now, yes.
Yeah.
The only thing that's more
The upside.
attractive with Ryan is he's under control for a couple more years.
Yep.
And then the bullpen, 90% of the fan base did not want number 44 on the team, which rightfully so.
Right. Absolutely.
Things off
Yep.
the field,
Yep.
I get it. I
Yep.
get it. I
Yep.
get it. But what he's done on the field is just be the best closer in baseball. Still pumping 103 gas.
Yep. Yep.
And is probably in better shape than any other 37-year-old in Major
Definitely the
League
most intimidating
100%.
pitcher that comes out of anybody's bullpen.
Yeah.
That's for damn sure.
It has one of the coolest Louis Tion smoking a cigar videos ever. Love it. And so this is kind of where everyone gave Craig Breslow shit, myself included, hand up.
Mm-hmm.
I was frustrated because Bregman came back.
Mm-hmm.
Next thing you know, we've won 10 games in a row, 2Ks. Oh, but you swept. Who you beat? Who'd you beat? All right, well, we swept the Rockies and we swept the Nats.
Mm-hmm.
Well, those teams suck.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's fucking Major League Baseball. I don't give a fuck. If you win 10 games in Major League Baseball in a row,
That's huge.
fucking huge. I don't give a fuck if it's 10 games all against the Rockies.
Mm-hmm. And
Winning 10 in a row is a big deal.
going into that Nats series, the Nats were playing better baseball than the Red Sox.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I've got two more stats here that I want to throw at you, 2Ks. Again,
And
this is from Boston Strong. Red Sox have a 10-game winning streak for the first time since 2018. Remember what happened in 2018, 2Ks? Won the fucking World Series. Not two totally different teams.
oh, 100%.
Two totally different teams.
But I mean, and you go back to who gives a fuck who they beat in the 10 games in a row?
I don't.
They changed the entire fucking narrative of that division in 10 games.
And the bad part is that in the last 10, Toronto's been 7-3.
Yeah.
So you've only gained 3 games.
Mm-hmm.
Now, granted, you've almost caught the Yankees. You're a game back.
Mm-hmm.
With their current slide, I don't see that being a problem overtaking them. Am I buying into the Blue Jays? You kind of have to, at least a little bit.
And their offense is fucking tough. That's a tough offense.
I was talking about it last week. I'm like, Tigers fans were just, it was a foregone conclusion. Bo Bichette, come on down.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you Do the Blue Jays think about trading him now? I
No,
don't. I wouldn't think so.
no. I mean, that's the thing. It's what has happened in the last 2 weeks. 2 weeks ago, with Boston, maybe you want to go 3, 4 weeks ago when they traded Devers. It was like, okay, who else were they going to trade?
Right.
Is this now they're going with the kids, and now
Tigers
we
fans are
focus
telling me
on.
Bregman was going to
Yeah, I
Detroit.
mean Bregman, or I mean, for me as a Tigers fan, what I was more so, if the Boston's selling, what do you want for Chapman? That,
Hmm.
that would have been like Chapman would have been the dude, and that I would have been good with the Tigers getting rid of one of those top three
Hmm.
prospects for. Like, I think that he would, if you're gonna get a Chapman arm, you're gonna have to get rid of one of those top three prospects in there. And I, as a fan, would have been okay with that. Like a lockdown closer that's gonna just fucking end everything he goes
Hmm.
into, and most of the time doesn't even the teams that are batting against him don't even put the ball in play.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll get rid of one of my top three prospects on, but he's the only one. And now Boston's not selling, Toronto's not selling.
Nope.
You look at, to me, those teams in the Central are going to sell.
Tampa always sells.
Tampa is going to sell. Baltimore has to consider. I mean, Ryan O'Hearn's going.
Yeah.
Cedric Mullins is probably going to
Yep.
go. The guys that are at least on expiring deals, they're going with the more young talent. They got to get better pitching. Um, you're looking down the list here. Houston, Seattle. I think there was some people talking like Seattle was going to sell a couple weeks ago. They've gotten hot and put themselves into it where, but they're probably not selling. It's going to be Texas is going to sell. The Angels are going to sell. Athletics are looking to, they're young and upcoming. So, if there is some bat in their lineup, I mean, I have to imagine that teams are going to be calling Oakland for like a rooker,
Mm.
um,
Yeah.
to
Even.
add that bat into their lineup. Um, yeah, it's a couple weeks ago, I think that there was a lot of people thinking that the Brewers were going to be sellers. They're not going to sell now.
But they're not going to buy.
No, no, because they never fucking they just continue to fucking get a wild card spot year
Yep.
in year out.
Yep. First round exit.
No, it's going to be fun to see how things kind of shake out here in the next couple of weeks and see what happens, and because there's a lot of teams that are right there on the edge of what do they want to do, and we'll see. But that American League East is going to
Wins
be.
it.
I think Boston.
Think
I think
Boston.
Boston does. I think Boston wins it. I think Boston's the best team there. I
I
do.
think.
I think Boston has to.
I think all
Boston
three teams
has.
make the playoffs regardless.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just who wins the division.
And I think Tampa can make a fucking. They can make a surge for this. They got some young talent in that lineup.
Hmm.
Um, yeah. I mean, Jesus. And you can't help it. And I know it's an unfortunate situation. And I don't want to, talk on it really at all. But you can't help but also like think like if Wander Franco was a part of that, like man, some of that talent that they have there. If he was supposed to be the fucking nucleus of that, like he
Yeah.
was the focal point, and so that's a whole unfortunate situation. But
Yep.
no, I think Boston wins. I think Boston's the best team. Boston, and especially if they are willing to be big time buyers and get themselves like a Seth Lugo, maybe even try to add a couple pitchers.
Hmm.
Get a guy like a Seth Lugo, and then maybe get a guy like it's more of a project, but somebody that they can slide in because if their starting rotation can be anything, you know, if they can get any production after Crochet, oh boy, you better look out because that lineup's gonna get. I mean, that lineup is exciting.
In the 6 games prior to the 4 gamer with the Rays, seems like they were averaging 10 runs a game.
Hmm.
And I don't care what you said it best. Major league teams.
Yeah.
These are major league teams.
Yeah.
These aren't minor league teams. These aren't exhibition games. They're major league teams, and they're just steamrolling.
Right, and that's the thing too is okay. You can say that they didn't play against good teams and all these sweeps and when they've won 10 in a row, whatever. They all what was the run differential in that? Because I want to say
A
that
shit
it was Boston by about plus 48 or
Yeah.
close to 50. So it's not only that they were winning 10 straight games, it's that they've blown the fucking brakes off of
Yeah.
these teams 10 straight times. So when you're winning games like that, I don't give a fuck. Like you can throw any team in baseball in there against them in the last 10 days and Boston's probably 10-0
Mhm.
against anybody in baseball. So
But you hit the nail right on the head when we started. This is even though the bullpen for the Red Sox needs the rest. Greg Weisert's arm is about ready to fall off. Um,
Those
but
bats don't need the rust on them.
no, no, no,
That's
no,
what you
no,
don't
no,
want.
no.
You know.
No. And every time they would score 10 or more runs, I was reminded of when the Tigers, like the Victor Martinez, Miggy,
Hmm.
those lineups,
Hmm.
they always had a tendency to put up 12, 13, 18 runs
Hmm.
and then lay a fucking egg the
Hmm.
next day.
Hmm.
And it's like, come on, guys, save some for tomorrow. But they really didn't need to.
Yep.
They really didn't need to. Well, 2Ks. Always good to have you back.
Hmm.
Just so I don't have to talk for a whole hour and a half, but it's always good to have you. Always good to have you. Is there anything that we need to tie up here? We've talked about a lot of different
No,
stuff.
I mean, I look forward to watching the home run derby tomorrow night. All-Star game's always fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably the only really all-star game that is fun to watch in
Yeah.
all professional
Yeah.
sports.
Aside from the Four Nations Cup.
Yeah, I mean that tops it all.
Yeah.
Like if Major League Baseball wanted to break, because they could do something probably pretty fucking similar
They'd have to
if
break
they
more in a
wanted
week.
to. Yeah, but that would be pretty damn cool.
Yeah.
And I think that baseball players would be completely fine with taking
Yeah.
a couple weeks off in the season.
And I will we'll end the show with this. I got a couple suggestions for Major League Baseball. So come on in. Come on, Manfred. Come on in. First off, go back to the players wearing their team uniform,
Yeah.
not these stupid ass all-star uniforms.
Mhm.
Maybe make a hat. I'm cool with a hat.
Sure.
These uniforms fucking ugly.
Yep. I know. Yeah, I do. I agree with that 100%. I always liked seeing them wear their true
With
team
the
uniforms.
all-star patch.
Yep. Yep.
One team, one team's the home team, one team's the away team. I get it.
Yep.
I get it. Number 2, Coley Mick from Section 10. Why this is not a thing, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But I agree with it wholeheartedly so much. A, I want to give him a shout out. B, put it more in the ether because this needs to be a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready for this? Why not have the home run derby on 4th of July?
It'd be fucking sweet.
And then the All-Star game on the 5th.
Mm-hmm.
Now, granted, they're not always going to line up,
Mm-hmm.
on a Monday, Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Who cares?
Right.
Who cares? How awesome would it be to see home runs, fireworks,
Mm-hmm.
the whole 9 yards? Because football owns Thanksgiving,
Mm-hmm.
Christmas.
Basically Christmas too. Yeah. NBA tries
Yeah,
with
tries.
Christmas,
But baseball really doesn't own anything. Yeah, they do different unis for Mother's Day, Father's Day,
Mm-hmm.
Memorial Day, 4th of July. Yeah, they do different unis, but the 4th of July ones looked almost exactly like the Memorial Day ones.
Mm-hmm.
I get that, but how awesome.
Mm-hmm.
How awesome. And then, you want a little topper 2Ks? Wherever the All-Star game is, bring Nathan's in, have the hot dog eating contest
right
during
there.
the day
All right.
on the 4th.
Uh-huh.
Still,
Uh-huh.
how Major League Baseball would own
Mhm.
2 days,
Mhm.
let alone and a lot of people's most fun holiday.
Yeah.
I mean,
100%, absolutely.
and so Coley Mick, big shout out to you. Why this isn't a thing?
Mhm.
I agree with you because I'm on board.
Mhm.
I'm 100% on board. That's my
I can get down with that.
yeah. I mean, come on.
Mhm.
Fireworks going off while home runs are being hit. Give me yeah. And then the final one.
And I want to and I want to be against either because I think a majority of the players. I mean, I could be wrong on this, but I think majority of the players would like more time off too.
Yeah.
It's such a long season,
And
so many consecutive days.
and doing it on the 4th gets you closer to the actual mid
Mhm.
point in the
Mhm.
season.
Yep.
So
Yep.
Major League Baseball, figure it out.
Yep.
Figure it out. Well, 2K crew, we'll get you out of here on this. Everyone have a great week. And as always, Jim Rome, we're coming for you.